A very good morning, everyone. Okay, so today's topic is managing yourself emotionally during the hard times. So, when we talk about a lady, the hard time is obviously the menstrual cycle and the menopausal period. Before starting on this particular topic, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Deepika Chamoli, the founder and director of Speaking Cube Online Mental Health Consulting Foundation, and a psychologist and a clinical hypnotherapist by profession. We keep on organizing the free webinars on different topics every month. So thanks for joining, and we are waiting for more candidates to join. For this particular month, it is the mood fluctuations and psychological and emotional well-being during menstrual and pre-menopausal, perimenopausal or menopausal period. So I welcome you all. And if there is any doubt in between, you can always raise hand and ask. I hope my PPT is visible. Please share, one of you.
Yes,
Is
it is
it?
visible. Yes.
Okay. So when we talk about the menstrual cycle is everybody is aware that the length of the menstrual cycle is 28 to 30 days, wherein a female, a girl, or a woman bleeds because the inner layer of the uterus it breaks down every month. So every every month there is a construction of the inner wall of the uterus, and at 28th or 30 days there is a breakdown, and then we get bleeding for 5 to 7 days and differs from person to person, and this is the menstrual cycle. But there is something that happens in the menstrual cycle, a lot of mood fluctuations. And I have 2 3 cases who have faced so much of stress during this particular period, who experience so much of stress and mood fluctuation during this particular period, that they have developed seizures also. So it is not something which is very easy. It is not something which is which we can sometimes we can manage on our own, sometimes we cannot, and a medical referral is required. So let's talk about that. There are 2 important periods in a woman's life. One is the premenstrual period, we can say, because during the premenstrual period we feel a lot of emotional changes, or you can say temporary emotional changes within ourselves because of the temporary hormonal changes. And the menopausal period that ranges from 1 year to 10 years as well, right? So there are people who enter this phase at the age of 40, and then the period completely stops at the age of 50. Now, menstruation is a glimpse. What we feel during the menstrual cycle is the glimpse of what we will feel during the perimenopausal period. So let's talk about these words first, and then I'm going to focus more on the psychological and emotional well being and what you can do, or you can say do's and don'ts of maintaining the emotional well being during this particular period. So, menopause is a normal phase in every woman's life and typically occurs naturally in women between the age 44 to 55. Now, this is an average age, but it has been reported that after 35, it can happen at any point in time, right? Over a period of, this is a research of 2019, but there are few researches, latest researches, where we have seen that depending on the genetics, the women has entered the perimenopausal period during, or you can say after 37, after 37, 38. It's very, very common because the periods, the periodic cycle, it it becomes irregular. So, however, menopause is often used to describe distinctly different stages of women's life. For example, pre-menopause time. Pre-menopause time when your periods are normal, when we are getting a 28 to 30 days of cycle every month. Perimenopausal period, which is the period between your premenopause and your menopause, the in between period. For example, 37 to 55, right? So this is an average. 45 to 55 is an average age, but after 35, the lady should be cautious. If the lady is not married, then she should go for freezing the eggs. She should be cautious about her lifestyle. And um, this is how it goes. So when a woman ceases to have the period at the age of and has gone 12 months without it, this is called the menopause. That is the stoppage of the menopause. And after that menopause, 1 year after that menopause, is called the post-menopausal period. So this period, perimenopausal to post-menopausal period, the length of this particular period is different in different people, different in different females. It depends on the genetics, it depends on the lifestyle, it depends on the hormonal factors, and so many other factors, environmental factors as well. So let's talk about that. Now in the perimenopausal period, there are a lot of symptoms that we face. Can anybody tell me that what are the symptoms that we face when it comes to our emotions? Even if you are not in the perimenopausal period, you have seen the symptoms during the menstrual cycle. So 1 week before the menstrual cycle, we feel agitated, irritated, all of us. It happens with each one of us. It's not that it'll happen with me or it'll not happen with you. This is a normal physiology. And why is it happening? It is happening because of the two hormones, progesterone or estrogen, which are also known as the female hormones. And there is one neurotransmitter which is responsible for it, is serotonin. And I will talk about it, that why it has increased over a period of time. What is the reason that menstrual emotional symptoms during the menstrual cycle and menopausal symptoms, why these have increased? So that also we will throw a light on in the forthcoming slides. So now, what all symptoms you emotionally, I'm not talking about the physical symptoms, because physical symptoms are definitely it is not under my purview, but we know it. There is backache, there is generalized body swelling, then there is retention of water, we feel bloated all the time. But when it comes to the emotional symptoms, that is obviously my purview, so I will definitely talk about it. Depression, anxiety, mood fluctuations, irritability. You don't feel good with your body. You're not comfortable with your body. All the time, there is something which is bugging you up about yourself. And during this particular period, we have seen that there is body image, a lot of body image issues. So we keep on listening to the different interviews of celebrities and models, and they have spoken about it. They talk about it, that we don't feel good. There are days when we do not feel good. We feel bloated. We do not want to come out. So it is happening with everybody. And we need to accept. Should we say that we need to accept? These are the symptoms that can be managed. Just acceptance is not going to make a difference. Try to manage the symptoms, try to minimize the symptoms as much as you can. How? Now, I have already spoken about the menstrual symptoms. The symptoms are much worse when we talk about the perimenopausal period. You don't get your cycle regularly. which is why the progesterone and estrogen hormones, there is an imbalance of these hormones, right? Now, once there is an imbalance of these hormones, it affects the serotonin, which is a biochemical in the brain. And this is a very important biochemical because this is responsible for, uh, there is an imbalance of serotonin in depression, there is an imbalance of serotonin in mood fluctuation. So this is a very, very important brain chemical, biochemical, or you can say neurotransmitter, but it has some relation with the sleep wake cycle. It's so interesting. Serotonin is responsible for a lot of psychological symptoms, and serotonin is also responsible for your sleep wake cycle. It is related to your sleep. How? There is a sleep hormone called melatonin, which is responsible for your sleep. So whenever you are in a dark place, whenever you are in a cozy place, whenever there is no light, what happens? This melatonin in your brain is released, which is why you feel relaxed and you sleep. It happens during meditation also. It happens during relaxation sessions, which is why after some mindfulness techniques, or after doing certain relaxation techniques like yoga and meditation, we feel sleepy, right? It is because of the release of melatonin. Now, melatonin and serotonin, both of these hormones are connected. Serotonin is responsible for melatonin. Now, this is a wonderful thing. Now, if you are not sleeping well, if your sleep cycle has gone for a 6, if you are not sleeping for 7 to 8 hours on an average at night, underline. People feel that we will sleep during the day and it will suffice. It doesn't happen. We have to sleep at night. Night sleep is different than the day sleep. The physiology is completely different. So you do not get that much of nutrition in sleep during the day, right? Now, moving ahead. So because of the distortion in the sleep cycle, serotonin has gone for a 6, and because of the serotonin, melatonin has gone for a 6. It's a vicious cycle. So which is why we emphasize on sleep. I'll talk about it in the forthcoming slide. So this is the relation that you must know. Then let's not go to the physiology more. Now let's talk about the emotional symptoms. Emotionally, when a lady is in the perimenopausal period, obviously there are body image issues because the hormonal imbalance is happening. There is a physiological havoc which is going on inside your body, hormonal havoc which is going inside your body. And because of this, there is so much of water retention. Plus, the body metabolism has also gone down. So there is a tendency to put on weight. So you will see after 37, 38, females do put on weight. And this is natural. It is not unnatural. This is natural. It happens with everyone. Right? Now, once you put on undue amount of weight, which is not required, and you are not working, your sleep cycle has gone for a 6. There are other symptoms also that pitch in. Irritability is there. Frustration is there. There are a lot of responsibilities during this particular period which you are facing. And everything reflects on the marital relationship with the partner. It also affects the parenting during this particular stage. So females during this age, you can say on an average 37 to 50 on an average. You look at yourself, you look at the people around you, the females around you. We are so overburdened. We don't care about ourselves. We are only worried about the partner, the family, the in-laws, parents, and kids. If you are working, add on pressure. It is a professional life. So the menopausal, perimenopausal symptoms are there, but they aggravate. They aggravate and aggravate because of the add-on pressure that you have on yourself. Now it's the time when you feel depressed, when you have anxiety, when you have panic attacks, when you have hot flushes. All these are normal. It happens with everybody. But what is not normal? When you are not able to manage it yourself. When you feel that your relationship with your partner is going for a 6, when you feel that I am not taking care of myself, I am like this every day I am not feeling good in my body, it is the time to seek for the professional advice. But there are symptoms that can be managed on your own, which is why we need to have these awareness programs. Just by saying that okay, menopausal symptom is a menopausal period is a very bad period, and all these things happen is not going to make a difference. You need to know the solution, because whether it is physical symptoms or emotional symptoms, the first aid is always done by us. We always do hit and try during this particular period. We try to manage on our own. And when it is not manageable, we go to the expert. So let's talk about the techniques which will help you in managing the menstrual and the menopausal symptoms, emotional symptoms effectively. And I'm telling you, out of all the techniques that I will discuss over here, if you will follow 2 every day, your menopause, perimenopause is going to be a very easy journey. It will be a cakewalk. So let's talk about that now. Develop positive image and good self-worth. There is a survey which was done, and it says that 62% of women feel their weight negatively affects their lives during menopause, and only 12% are satisfied with their bodies. So I want all of you to just answer in the chat box if you're not interested in unmuting and discussing. Answer in the chat box whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that a lot of women have negative body image because of the weight issues during this particular period, 37 to 55. Waiting for the responses. Yes, good. Absolutely, Miral, you are right. Anybody? Ghazal? Okay. So this is a global fact. It is not in India. It is a global fact. It happens with every female, right? So what do we need to do? The moment you have hit 35, so, and you have started your journey and you know that this period is going to come, this perimenopausal period is going to arrive now. So what do we need to do? We need to take care of ourselves more. We need to work on our self-worth more. Now there are 2 ways of working on the self-worth. First, self-worth is the core. It's the center point, it's the core. And around the self-worth, there is core identity. Anybody who has a good self-worth will have good core identity. Now, what is core identity? Core identity means if I ask you, now you can do a mental exercise on your own. If I ask you, I am dash, I am dash, what is what is the adjective that you will use? I am dash. I'm positive, I'm lucky, I'm hardworking, right? So these these are the kind of adjectives, or these are the kind of words that you will use to complete this sentence. The words that you will use to complete the sentence is your core identity. It is at the core. Your self-worth is in the middle, at the center, like a nucleus, and around that self-worth, your core identity exists. If you have a positive self-worth, you will have positive self-identity. But if you have a low self-worth, negative self-worth, self-worth is not that good, you will say, I'm not beautiful, I'm unlucky, things doesn't happen to me the right way. So that I am dash will be filled by some negative word. And this shows that what is your self-worth, what is your core identity defines your self-worth, and your self-worth defines your core identity, and vice versa. If you want to enhance your self-worth, you have to remind your mind every day. Your mind works on repetition, our brain works on repetition. When we repeat things, there are certain patterns of the neurons that are created over a period of few days, and the range is 7 to 21 days. Within 7 to 21 days, you create new maps, and you solidify new maps for whatever you are saying, for whatever you are doing. And that is the principle of neuroplasticity, and that's why we say that our brain is very flexible, and hence the mind. If you are working on our brain regularly and giving the positive triggers, you create new maps, and hence you redefine your life. So we have to remind ourselves every day that yes, I need to work on myself, and I need to work on my self-worth. If your self-worth is good, your core identity will be good. If your core identity is not good, if you are not completing the sentence with a positive word, start working on your core identity and self-worth, right? And these two things are directly connected with the language that we use, directly connected with the beliefs that we have. So it's the core identity, it's a self-worth in the middle, and then the core identity, and then we have beliefs and values, and at the last circle, it's the language that we use, the meaning making language that we use. So we have to be very cautious of the language that we are using, because whatever we speak is being heard by our ears, and the message is going to your brain, and your brain is reacting that way. If you're saying you are unlucky, your brain is saying, okay, unlucky, so okay, don't feel good. You don't feel good. And this is the physiology which is happening. So we need to work on developing a positive self-image and good self-worth. It is not a one day process, it is an everyday process. Do one activity every day to enhance your self worth. Exercise. Exercise regularly. Do yoga. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Even if you are putting on weight during this period, it is normal. But it will not increase to an extent where it is not manageable. You Even if you will put on weight, you will not develop some physiological issues, right? Now, moving ahead. So, this is how we can develop a positive self image and good self worth. Moving ahead, addressing the negative thoughts and belief, because this is the period where we have a lot of negative thoughts. We overthink. Sometimes people do completely think in negative manner. They don't see the positive. They discount in every situation. They discount the positive in lieu of negative. So how to get rid of it? Your brain over a period of time, by virtue of your experiences, has learned to behave in certain way. If your brain is thinking in a negative manner, if you feel that my thought process is more inclined towards negative, I am not in a balanced thinking stage, start emptying your mind, start decluttering. This is the time where you need to take out a lot of things from yourself. You need to filter things in your mind. How can you do that? With simple journaling. Pick up a diary, pick up a beautiful diary and pen. Write whatever is bugging you every day on a piece of paper. This is one way of journaling. That whatever is happening in the whole day, suppose there are two incidents and you are not feeling good about it, write those incidents, cut it. So your brain will perceive, okay, you have removed these incidents from your brain. This is what uh, uh, this is the message that your brain will get, right? This is one way. Second way is write whatever is happening, write whatever has happened. Like we introspect, we close our eyes and see whatever has happened, and we watch our actions, we observe our actions. Like that, you can write down whatever has happened during the day, if you have enough time. Otherwise, the first one is absolutely fine, wherein you write the negative and then cut it. Second is challenging your belief. If your brain is overthinking, ask your brain, why are you overthinking? Am I going to be benefited, or there'll be only disadvantages? Now, if you will do it for 7 days or 10 days, your brain will start behaving in a different manner, because you know that brain is like Hanumanji. We need to remind it the power and the potential that it has, on and off. So challenging your belief is very important. If you feel that I have a negative belief which is not doing any favor, try to transform that belief. And you can only transform that belief when you have a flexible mindset. So this flexible mindset needs to be accepted. I am this way. I will not change myself. This is rigid mindset. Now, a person who has rigid mindset cannot mold the behaviors. This is a stick, and a stick is rigid. It cannot be molded into any shape, but a jelly can be molded into any shape, right? So your brain and your mind needs to be flexible to accept anything in life, because this is what life is. Life is all about acceptance. But at the end of the day, what do? We keep on expecting things from life, but we do not accept. And this is the root cause of so many issues. So challenge your beliefs which are not doing you any favor. Next, there are multiple techniques that we can talk about. Next is declutter your mind. This decluttering is required by each one of us. If you ask me whether I declutter my mind or not, yes, I do every day, because that is required. If I'll not declutter my mind is going to be like a house which is only in which we are only adding things, but we are not cleaning it every day. So a day will come where the house is going to be like a storehouse. Moving ahead, how can you declutter your mind? There are simple techniques. There are simple breathing techniques. There are a lot of breathing techniques. Who do yoga, they can do normal inhalation and exhalation. But there is a scientifically proven technique that declutter your mind is 7-11 technique, proven by Harvard Medical School, and it has been taken from one of the Upanishads, Ishvasya Upanishad, that talks about the breathing, only and only breathing. So now, what is this technique? It's a very simple technique. You can do it anywhere. Even if you are doing one cycle, it is going to affect your brain positively. So how is it? So sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and breathe in through your nose gently. Hold your breath till 7 count. Breathe out through your mouth. And here, hold your breath till 11 count. One more time. Breathe in through your nose gently without any sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, like that, you can go for at least 5 cycles. 5 cycles means it will not take more than 2 to 3 minutes. And once you have reached 5 minutes, I think it is good enough for you to declutter your mind. Every day, 5 minutes of 7-Eleven is going to declutter your mind and nourish your brain wonderfully well. So, there is an area of the brain which is responsible for depression. This 7-Eleven technique, it shrinks that area. Therefore, we feel more happier with this particular technique, scientifically proven again. Then there is a progressive relaxation technique. You can use certain YouTube videos for progressive relaxation, or you can do it by yourself. So, if you people are here and ready to switch on your cameras, we can do a progressive relaxation session here for 10 minutes. Do let me know in the chat box, because at the first time it should be done under guidance. If no, okay, yes, then Ghazala, please switch on the camera. Saritash, Miral, Shikha, please switch on the camera so that we can have the progressive relaxation session, so that you can use it on your own. Uh, Please lie down, make yourself comfortable, and I need to see just the face of yours, right? You can fix your phone or your camera in such a way that only your face is visible. It's enough. If you are driving, please do not do that. If you are outside, please do not do this stunt. If you are doing the household chores, then also please do not do it. If you have to do, please lie down. Okay, Ghazal, you can lie down. Done? Okay, great. So those who are wearing specs, please take off your specs. Just be comfortable. Close your eyes and keep the eyes closed throughout the session. We will do a quick progressive relaxation followed by a quick guided imagery. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. One more time. Breathe in relaxation through your nose and breathe out stress and tension through your mouth. Now focus on your toes. Release all the stress and tension from your toes and relax the muscles completely. Feel that the relaxation is moving up towards your calf muscles. Release all the stress and strain from the calf muscles and relax the muscles completely. The wave of relaxation is moving further up towards your knees and your thighs. Release all the stress and tension from your knees and your thighs and relax the muscles completely. Knees are always loaded with responsibilities, and we are always running away or walking in our life. We are never still, and hence the knees and thighs are always strained. Release all the stress and tension from your knees and thighs completely and relax the muscles. The wave of relaxation is saturating your private parts. Release all the stress and tension from the private parts and relax the muscles completely. The wave of relaxation is moving up towards your abdomen. Release all the stress and tension from your abdominal muscles and relax the muscles completely. The wave of relaxation is now saturating your chest. Your heart and your lungs are there inside the chest. Release all the stress and tension from your lungs and relax the muscles completely. Release all the stress and tension from your heart and relax the muscles completely. The heart is always loaded with a lot of negative and positive emotions. Positive emotions make the heart lighter, whereas negative emotions make your heart heavy. Release all the stress and tension from your heart and make your heart light. The wave of relaxation is moving up towards your shoulders, neck, arms up to your fingers. Release all the stress and tension from your neck, shoulder, and arms and your fingers and relax the muscles completely. This is the area which is burdened with responsibilities. Release the burden and relax the muscles completely. The wave of relaxation is now moving from the neck to the vertebra, relaxing your back completely. Your back is loaded with the weight of your life. Release the weight, release the burden of your life, and relax the muscles completely. Now, the wave of relaxation is saturating your face, eyes, and your forehead. Release all the stress and tension from your facial muscles, eyes, and forehead, and ears, and relax the muscles completely. Now, the wave of relaxation is saturating your scalp. Release all the stress and tension from your scalp and relax the muscles completely. You are completely relaxed from head to toe now. Now it is the time to give certain positive triggers to your brain that can nourish your brain. Imagine a beautiful garden, the garden where all your favorite flowers are blooming. The flowers are of different colors: pink, red, orange, yellow, blue, white, off white, and all the colors are there. You name it and it is there in your imagination. See this beautiful garden. This garden is very rich. This garden has a small stream. A small stream is flowing. This garden has a velvety grass on which you are lying down and gazing the sky. It is the early morning time. The sky is absolutely blue. You are so relaxed. You're feeling good about yourself. The chirping of the birds is soothing you further. Your ears can hear the sound of the wind and the sound of the stream. The air is full of fragrance, so much of fragrance, and this fragrance is exactly like the perfume that you use, your favorite perfume, your favorite iत्र, or your favorite fragrance that you use. It is so soothing. This is the garden in your mind wherein you can come at any point to relax and declutter yourself. Whenever you feel full, come to this place and relax yourself. Now, for 10 seconds, enjoy the garden, and then I will take you out of this state. 10. Relax yourself. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are completely relaxed and rejuvenated. Now I want to count from 1 to 5, and at 5, please open your eyes. 1, feel happy and relaxed. 2, feel happy and relaxed. 3, feel happy and relaxed. 4, feel happy and relaxed. 5, feel happy and relaxed. Eyes open, wide awake. So now you can open your eyes and sit. This is a simple progressive relaxation and a simple guided imagery which will help you in decluttering your mind every day. If you're doing it every day, even for 5 minutes, it will help a lot. How are you feeling, Ghazal?
It's really very relaxing. And starting my morning this, it's really absolutely good.
Good. So, this is how every time you'll do it, you will feel good because what is the physiology? Because you are releasing a lot of endorphins in your brain by doing this progressive relaxation and a simple guided imagery. Endorphin is a chemical which is responsible for our happiness. We can never be happy without endorphin. So, if you are happy, that means endorphins are released in your body, right? Now, moving ahead, what all can we do? Develop healthy habits. Now, when I'm saying healthy habits, first being in the nature, we are nature's beings. Since we are nature's being, we need to be in nature. We feel good with nature. Surround yourself with a lot of greenery. Now, what happens with the greenery? Green color do not require any kind of adjustment as far as the muscles of eye is concerned. Muscles of eye are concerned, right? So what happens with green color? Green is the only color with which our eyes are not taxed. So when you see green color, you do not have to adjust the eye muscles. So the eye muscles are sending the message to the brain, I am relaxed because I am not being strained. The brain is getting the message, okay, you are relaxed, feel relaxed. So we feel relaxed whenever we see the green color. Increase the color green around you, the natural green color around you. Of course it will happen with the with any kind of green color which is around, but more with the green color in nature, right? Because we are nature's human being. Develop a habit of gardening. It is very helpful in managing your depression, your mood, and your anxiety. Very, very helpful. And I tell all my clients to at least keep two plants which they can take care of. And this will help, this also helps us in cultivating compassion in ourselves, sense of responsibility, right? When we say develop healthy habits, pick up any hobby. As I've just mentioned, it can be gardening, it can be singing, it can be dancing. Any hobby, pick up any hobby which you feel good about and work with it. It can be writing. Because at this stage, when you are in your late 30s to your 50s, the life is a roller coaster. Professionally you are overwhelmed, personally you are overwhelmed, you are, there is so much of expectation in the environment, you are not able to fulfill the expectation 100%, which is why the only thing that you can do is ignore yourself. That is the easiest way. So do not do that. Pick up any hobby that you feel good about and work with it. If you have ever thought of playing a guitar, learn guitar. If you have ever thought of dancing, learn dancing. Or if you do not want to learn dance, then at least you can switch on the TV and dance, right? So simple habits. These are the hobby means we are feeling good about it. We are feeling good about it means you are releasing endorphins. So basically, by doing so, you are releasing the feel good factors and endorphins in your brain, which is why your brain is getting nourished and you feel so light. And I would not say last, this is most important. If there is anything which is unresolved, resolve it. We have so many unresolved conflicts from the past, since our childhood. And we keep piling on them, right? And when you have a lot of unresolved conflicts, you always feel suffocated. Address the unresolved conflicts one by one and resolve. When you resolve the conflicts within yourself, not with others, within yourself, then you are basically removing the load from your life. Mind it, it seems to be a very small thing, but this is something that ruins life. The person who has more unresolved conflicts means the life actually is going for a 6 every day. You are facing so many issues every day because of these unresolved conflicts. And now develop coping mechanisms. We need to identify, it is important to develop coping mechanisms to manage these symptoms. And how can we do that? Identify the stressor. I know if being in such a so and so environment is stressing me out, an environment is a trigger to me, avoid that environment for the time being, right? Then once you have identified the stressor, use relaxation techniques relaxation techniques, for example, yoga, for example, exercise, for example, listening to music, dancing, or progressive relaxation, or breathing. All these are relaxation exercises. So use any relaxation technique if you have already identified the stressor. Then what is the next step? A social support system is very, very much important. A social support system means a support of friends, support of partners, support of parents, support of family members, right? Create a good support system around you. And how will you create a good support system around you? When you are a good support to yourself. People feel that, okay, I'm not taking care of myself, let my husband take care of myself. But it doesn't happen. What you are feeling, your husband cannot feel about you. What he is feeling about himself, you cannot feel the same way about him. It's different, right? So create a support system. You need to have friends, you need to have buddies, you need to have a good partner, you need to have people who love you and whom you love, to create a good environment. So this good support system is required. It is a coping mechanism. And then get involved in stress reducing activities. Stress reducing activities, when you help others, it reduces stress because it is a kind of thrilling experience. And your adrenaline is released whenever you do such kind of activity. There are people who love traveling. Go out, travel, but reduce your stress. So, this is how you can work on your coping mechanisms, by doing small, small things. And then, most important here is improve your sleep pattern. 8 hours of sleep is required, as I have already mentioned in the starting of the class session, that melatonin is the hormone which is responsible for sleep. Serotonin is a brain chemical which is responsible for secreting melatonin, right? Serotonin is the brain chemical which is responsible for mood fluctuations, depression, and it is responsible for the sleep wake cycle. The moment your sleep wake cycle goes for a 6, your serotonin goes for a 6, and your melatonin also goes for a 6. As a result, we feel stressed, we feel depressed, we feel anxious, we feel panic. And this is one of the symptom in all those who are facing any kind of psychological issue, sleep disturbance. You will not see a sound sleep in people who are facing the emotional and psychological symptoms, right? So sleep in itself is a medicine of brain. If you're sleeping properly, if you're taking 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day, every night, not day, every night, it is nourishing your brain every day. And it is always reflected in your skin, it is reflected in your body, it is reflected in the way you think, right? Then if you have issues, there are certain times wherein your sleep goes for a 6 because you are so overwhelmed, you are burdened by the responsibilities of life. For example, you see your mother or see your sister with a small kid. So it is because it is uh, definitely it is going to be dependent on the kid in the household. So what you can do some yoga, do some mindfulness, do some meditation, and regulation of the routine activities is required. But at the end of the day, try to take maximum sleep. Maximum doesn't mean anybody who is sleeping more than 8 to 10 hours is a problem. Anybody who is sleeping less than 5 hours or 5 to 6 hours is also a problem. So we need to balance our life, because this sleep wake cycle affects our hormonal system. It affects melatonin and then serotonin and then progesterone and estrogen. And therefore, you will feel that a lot, and I think it is documented also, a lot of PCOS has increased. PCOS and PCOD has increased. Why? Because of the stress, and a big reason is sleep. A big reason is spending more time on other things rather than sleeping, right? And then last, how to have a happy uh, menopausal period or happy menstrual period is happy relationship. Develop happy relationship. And how can we develop that? So there is a research that I've quoted here. Over 60% of the divorces in UK are divorces in UK are initiated by women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, which coincides with perimenopausal and menopausal age range. So now, there is an emotional upheaval which is going on, probably not being understood by the people around and by themselves, and therefore they don't work on the relationship. So if we are aware now that this is happening, I am going to feel irritated, but I will try to manage it. I will try to manage it with some activity. I will try to work on myself. I will try to love myself. I will try to work on my self-worth. I will relax myself every day. If I'm doing these activities, obviously, I can always work on a happy relationship. Second is open communication is required. People feel that, okay, my partner will understand, he should understand, but he's a human being, he's not an astrologer, or he's not clairvoyant that he'll understand. He's a human being, and every human being is different. So open communication is required. Sometimes people are not educated enough regarding all these issues. So people need to be educated. First, the lady herself needs to be educated, then anybody else around. And then if you have a partner, you need to do some shared activities with your partner. Sit with your partner, chit chat with your partner, do some shared activities. Because at this stage, the focus is the household, focus is the family, focus is not the relationship. So the relationship goes for a 6. And then if there are stressors, common stressors, then the couple should try to manage the stressors together rather than managing the stressors separately. So there are so many programs nowadays, right? So many programs, for example, retreat, and for example, wellness programs are there. For example, some I have seen some sound healing programs are also there, right? So what are these? This is how it and these programs enhance the uh, coping mechanisms, and they teach you how to manage your stressors. And that's why I have seen couples going to these programs more, because they want to work on the relationships, right? And then look out for help if needed. Last, at the end, when you feel I have done everything but I am unable to manage, come to us, right? It is the time wherein you have to approach a psychologist, because this is the period where this particular period can give rise to the psychological disorder. Do not let your emotional upheaval become a psychological disorder. This is my suggestion. So if you are doing any 2 activities every day, you will be able to manage it very well. But still, if you are not able to, then that means there is something from the past which is bugging you up, and it needs to be addressed.